Let's look at the best ways to get doTERRA products for the lowest price. The best way to get essential oils is by setting up your own account. When you have your own account, you can purchase product at wholesale price, giving you 25% off the retail price. Plus, you can benefit from our loyalty reward program, LRP. Here, you will collect points as a loyalty reward for participating in a reoccurring monthly order that you can customize each month to suit you and your family's needs. You can collect up to an additional 30% of the order value in points. These points can be cashed in for more doTERRA products. In other words, when you sign up for the loyalty rewards program, you're signing up to receive more free products. These points accumulate from each LRP order you place. The percentage that you start from is based on the type of kit you purchase when you join. The percentage will grow every quarter until you reach a maximum of 30%. Plus, when you place your order online, you will also earn 100% of your shipping costs back in points. And to qualify for additional product, you can participate in our Product of the Month Club. When your PV reaches 125 before the 15th of the month, we will send you our pre-selected Product of the Month for free. You are never committed to place an order. To earn additional points, your monthly order must be a minimum of 50 PV. As long as you place a monthly order for any value above £1, you will never lose your accumulated points. Therefore, to summarise, minimum 1 point keeps your points accumulated. Minimum 50 points adds more points to your account, up to 30% of the order. Minimum 100 points will earn you downline commission, wellness advocates only. Minimum 125 points will earn you the free product of the month if placed before the 15th of the month. So, having your own account is definitely the best and most effective way to get your doTERRA essential oils to take advantage of 25% off retail prices, up to 30% off your order back in product points. Order online and receive 100% of your shipping costs back. Order at least 125 PV up to the 15th of the month and receive the product of the month for free. Plus other exclusive offers throughout the year, such as buy one, get one free, known as BOGOs, and other exciting products and discounts. doTERRA is a sharing company, and the Loyalty Rewards program truly rewards people with products that they want and need in their everyday life. Our mission is to change the world, one drop, one person, one community at a time.
Well, welcome everybody to our team call tonight. You may be wondering why I showed that. Some of you may be wondering why I showed that if you've just joined, because it might seem like it's a bit of a boring video, but actually it's an amazing video. And the reasons why it's amazing are because, one, it's in pounds. Two, I'm not actually sure of the accent. I think it's English, but it's not American, which is awesome. And it's very succinct in terms of trying to explain the LRP program, which can be quite a complicated program. So that video has been long coming, and it's out there now, and it's amazing. So I just wanted to share that with you before the join, because it's before the team call tonight, because it's just to get us going. Okay, so Rebecca's sent her love tonight. She can't be with us because she's in Lesvos with the refugees for a couple of days. She left me to move house today, which is really great. But we're doing it over the next week or two, so it should be fine. So excuse the slides. The slides that were put together today are just photographs from the European retreat, leadership retreat that some of us were just on, and we had an amazing time together. So those of you that did come to the retreat, please come in and add your comments as we go in and out. I'm going to call on some of you because we haven't had time to really organise this, just for you to go through some of the slides with us, okay? We have a lot to cover tonight. We will probably be an hour. So bear with us. Save your questions to the end if you would. So that will really help. But we've got some really, really exciting stuff to share with you tonight. Okay. So, and also congratulations. There was quite a few of the team on the actual incentive trip in Sicily itself on the Monday to the Wednesday. So well done to you. I know a lot of you had a good time. I think there's a couple of you on. Ali, you guys went, didn't you? Did you enjoy it, Ali?
Yes, we did. It was fantastic. Thank you. Loads of information and ideas. Yeah, brilliant.
Worth working hard to get to?
Completely worth it. Yes, already working for the next one. Can't wait.
Terrific. Thank you, Ali. Yeah, definitely worth trying to get onto the incentive trips when they're around. Okay, so we'll just go straight into some of the slides. So Kirk Jowers, who is he's the head of the whole of Europe, but he's in America and he has lots of other functions that he does. He's basically the 8th founder. Okay, he isn't a founder really, but he's that big with the founders, and he's got that title and that kudos with them that he's basically the 8th founder. But he looks after Europe. A great guy, and he did a couple of slides which I'm going to go through now. So he just showed us how other MLMs, other multi-level marketing companies, how they have expanded into Europe when they've done it. Okay? Now, doTERRA has expanded all over the world, and they've only been going 10 years. Okay, that's just to show you the growth that doTERRA's had, but also what doTERRA decided to do in terms of their international strategy was basically play catch up. Okay, so that is what doTERRA are continually doing. So why you feel sometimes like, why do we have these videos? Why don't we have this? Why don't we have that? That's because doTERRA, ideally, if they'd have done it like Tupperware and Avon would, we still would not be allowed to sell doTERRA products in the UK or Europe today because they wouldn't want to be playing catch up. But they decided to do that, and look where it's got us. Okay, so there's still little things going on. But Tupperware, for instance, didn't have an international expansion for 17 years. Okay, Avon took them 68 years to do an international expansion. They didn't go into Europe for 70 years. Okay, it just shows you doTERRA pretty much did it straight away. This is just a bit of the growth of doTERRA. So they was founded in 2008. Most of us know all this. It was worth $1 billion in sales in 2015. And in 2018, we surpassed 5 million wellness advocates and wholesale customers. Now, again, they're pictures of slides, so bear with us, guys. Some of them aren't very good, but it's to give you the information, the raw information. doTERRA also is breaking state records for hosting the annual conference. They can't get any bigger. They did 30,000 last year. This year they did 35,000. The only way they could get bigger is if they do it in an open-air stadium, and that might be a disaster. Sicily was a washout. We were inside, but it ran into torrential rain. One of the cool things that Kirk showed was that in 2016, 2017, and 2018, doTERRA have received a certificate for being the best, having the best program for their employees. They're one of the best mid-sized companies as voted for by Forbes, which is great to know that they're looking after their employees just like they do us. The other thing that Kirk showed us is that for the last 4 or 5 years, doTERRA has won in the state of Utah, just the state of Utah, but I'll tell you why that's important, is that it's won the best aromatherapy and essential oil company in terms of purity and therapeutic grade oils in the state of Utah. Now, why is that important? Because the other biggest essential oil company is in the States. So I won't say which one. Leave that slide to later. I think that's coming up later. I'll leave that for somebody else to talk about. Kirk also showed us the size of the aromatherapy and essential oils market and the share. He showed that basically doTERRA have 50% of the market, 49% of the market, which is astonishing. It's amazing. He also showed that the market size for doTERRA, the market size is 5.1 billion for the global aromatherapy and essential oils market. And the market growth is 25%, so it's growing by 25%. But he also showed that in 2024, the market size will have, I don't even know how to say this. It's not double, it's not tripled, it's 5 times. It's 5 times itself. I don't know how you say that. It's grown 5 times the 5 billion to 24, 25 billion. So if the doTERRA had the same market share that we have right now, it would be worth almost 12, 13 billion if we stood still. Now we know that doTERRA is actually at the cutting edge of increasing the essential oils market. So actually the 25 billion that it's looking like it's going to become, on the small side, probably going to be bigger as we talk. So I'll just mute all of us. This just shows the global supplements and sales growth because we are in that industry as well with LLV and lots of the other supplements. But it shows that this actually is a bigger market and this is massive. So this is growing exponentially. And so doTERRA has a small percentage of this market, very small. Okay, and it just shows the potential that we have in this market. Lindsay, you on? You were going to take over from here.
Hiya, yeah, I'm here.
Thanks, Lindsay.
So I love a good graph, actually. So these graphs that Nathan's just been going through, I find really exciting because actually all this means is that the future's really bright. So if you don't like graphs, just try to stay with us because all this means is that we have a really good future ahead of us.
Who doesn't like a graph?
Pardon?
Who doesn't like a graph?
I don't know, but you know, they're out there.
I don't like graphs.
Never.
I don't like graphs.
That's not true, Emily. Let's mute Emily. She likes graphs.
They're just pictures with maths on. What could be better than that?
When they go in the right way.
Exactly, and they go the right way. So what this is a picture of is, again, they built their first campus. They seem to, each time they get a new office, they think this will be big enough, and then they outgrow it. So this is another sign that they're growing even more than they expected. So new office as well. They do love to show us their new offices. Sorry, Nathan, you need to do the slides actually, don't you?
Yeah, sorry.
Thanks. They're also expanding their manufacturing warehouse so that they can account for more oils because we're using so much of them. So that was great. This was a really exciting sourcing picture that you can probably see very little of, but there is a dot that has appeared that was never there before. Can anyone spot it? Right on that tiny island that is the UK, there is now a dot. It is, it's in England. And it's not nettles. Roman chamomile is now being partly sourced in the UK, which is really, really exciting. So we are now on the map. So that was in the sourcing area. But you can see, for those of you who don't know this map quite so well, that they are sourced all over the world. And this is allowing them to have even greater impact with using their co-impact sourcing strategies to help more people, to support more communities, and to impact more lives. So this is one of my favourite ones. the sourcing map is great. Now this part, so 84% exclusive, is a really, really good place to be. And the reason for that is that if you are exclusively, if you have exclusive sourcing with somewhere, then you get to have more control. So if they're the only people you do business with, if you are the only person they do business with, then you get to have more control and more impact over how things work. So this is great to have 84% exclusive partnerships with these growers. Now, what would be even better than that would be something bigger than that, which is, Nathan, 96%. So they now have 96% exclusive partnerships with the growers for all of these oils. So again, it means that the purity, the potency is absolutely guaranteed with those farmers and with those cooperatives. So it's absolutely amazing. So when someone says to you, oh, I can get the same oils but cheaper, that's not true. Because 96% of the oils that doTERRA are getting are exclusive to doTERRA. So that is a really good place to be. This was one of their big concerns as founders, was that adulteration was everywhere before they started doTERRA. And so this was really passionate aim for them. Their mission was to develop these oils that were absolutely the best that could be. And so they have developed that testing sequence. We know that testing sequence being the CPTG. So it is well beyond what's required for the industry in both breadth and scope. Now, what that means is that they're not just looking at the components or the chemistry of the oils, they're also looking at the biological impact of those oils. So that's what they mean by breadth and scope. Yeah.
I just wanted to add something to that, Linz, because so obviously we went earlier on in the week to source the green mandarin, and there was one thing that I found amazing, I was really excited about, is, well, firstly, they produce different citrus oils from that particular distillery. They produce the green mandarin, bergamot, wild orange and lemon from either Sicily or mainland Italy. But also, the guy that was there, he said that it's only doTERRA that buy their essential oils. So there's no other company that buy their essential oils. And the other thing which I thought was really, really cool is I noticed that they had organic certification. So I was like, oh, yours are organic, are they? And they said yes, and the lady explained to me that yes, they do have organic certification, but obviously doTERRA don't put that on their bottles. I spoke to Kirk about this, and he said that although most of their oils are organic, not all of the harvesters, the farmers and the harvesters, can get that certification, so they choose not to put it on their bottles. However, I think over 90%, he said, or something, really, really high figure, are actually organic, have the certification. So most of our oils are organic. We know that they have to be organic to meet the testing procedures, but actually a lot of them are actually even proven to be organic and have the certification. I thought that was really interesting. I loved that.
Definitely. Thanks, Emily. The other thing with the exclusivity is that they are able to visit those places as well. So again, improving their ability to impact on that community, which they've done for some of the farmers. I think it was in Siberia for Siberian fir. It was the first time they'd been harvesting oils for, I don't know, I can't remember how many years. It was either 40 or longer. And no company had ever visited them. doTERRA was the first company to come and see what they were doing on the ground. And I thought, well, clearly the other companies didn't care as much about what was going on other than the finished product. So that was really cool as well. So what they are working hard on is to earn that label that we share, most tested, most trusted. And so this is a list of the tests that they do, which allow them to stamp them as certified pure therapeutic grade and beyond organic, as Emily said. So these ones, that organoleptic assessments. That is actually smelling. It's a really fancy way to say smelling. So do they smell right? And then the other ones I won't go into too much, but they go into much deeper requirements. So particularly the GCMS, they do the testing for much longer, as we know, to make sure that they've got every single aspect of it. So it goes into the chemical constituents, but also their positioning chemically. So as we know, the quality starts way before the seeds are actually planted, but look at the numbers. This is just incredible. So with their co-impact sourcing program, they've provided 96,000 jobs and impacted over 455,000 lives. I mean, I think that figure is absolutely astounding. I love that they don't round the number. I've just rounded it, but I love that they don't, because every single life totally matters. And to that one person, it's a whole new world for them. So I won't start singing, by the way. So this is absolutely, I love how much we can impact in a positive way. This is one of those ways that you might have heard about already. So this is in relation to the Operation Underground Railroad, which is one of their charity partners, where they're rescuing children out of sex trafficking. And so obviously the children who are rescued from these awful people are really damaged physically and emotionally, and really need some support to be able to heal and get better, to be able to have some sort of life after those horrible experiences. And so they built this aftercare home, and they are building more aftercare homes, but this one will be the biggest in the world, so that they can actually provide a home that will allow them to, as it says, be loved, be rescued and be healed from some of that pain. So it's called Rafa House. I love this, just like a big family. So the Huntsman Cancer Institute is one of the it's the most respected cancer research university. So you've got experts in cancer from all over the world are come to work with the Huntsman Cancer Institute. Now doTERRA are now partnering with them so that they can now do some research together. Which is just, fantastic. Now, the great thing is that Huntsman, they showed us a little video of what the Huntsman Cancer Institute's kind of mission is. And they're so close to what doTERRA is trying to do. They're really pioneering other strategies than those typical ones that are used to treat cancer. So really exciting partnership. So hopefully in a few years' time, we'll have some extra data in relation to cancer and extra evidence-based. So really good partnership there. So you've probably seen this as well. So this was their original mission statement that the founders set out to achieve when they first started 10 years ago. So you can read through the first four, which they have actually achieved, which amazingly, they've achieved the first four mission statements that they set out to. So I'll focus on the last one. I was going to see whether we highlight each of them, but I think time won't allow that. So we'll just focus on the last one. So they're now focusing on the number 5, which is to bring together the healthcare professional world with the alternative world, including essential oils. And so this is something that they've been working on for quite a long time, and they're now achieving it. So this is the result of all of that. So it's already being built, so it's happening. They are creating a medical complex that will be open on my birthday, very good day, next year. So this will be allowing people to go and have consultations with a doctor that will prescribe them doTERRA essential oils. They will have half an hour with the doctor to be able to discuss whatever's going on, and they will then be able to then have follow-up consultations. I can see Deborah's just said phenomenal, absolutely amazing. It's like a dream for people in America. However, the exciting thing is that they are also going to be opening one of these in Europe somewhere. So we're waiting to find out where. So that would be amazing for that to happen soon. But their vision is to bring together the allopathic medicine and holistic medicine, which is exactly what we've been working on ourselves in all our different ways, but to bring together that the healthcare professionals and the oils will just give an extra credibility to the oils, but also to us and what we're doing and what we're working on achieving as well. So the combination will just be fantastic. But you can see here your vision, sorry, just before you move on to that one, it says on the vision to lower healthcare costs. Now, we all know how much of a weight the NHS is on our government and on our country. So we know that healthcare is a really expensive industry. So what they're aiming to do is to lower that cost by using, integrating other practices into medicine as well. So what they've realised, what they kind of were saying, that they know that the US healthcare system is broken, and actually it seems that they're not the only one. So we're hoping, praying that they come and fix ours. But that's really what they're aiming for, is to bring the two together. So another little Venn diagram there, that they're in the middle of the two, which is nice. Sorry, and thanks, Nathan. The next one is all about more expansion, because there's more to do. And this is about another new office. So this is in Munich. So again, big offices, because there's such a demand, and just really exciting again that this is going to create more of a space for more development in mainland Europe. So
it's going to be exactly the same. It's going to be very similar to the UK office. So it's exciting. Sorry, Linz.
Yeah, no, perfect. So they've got a new director. So this is, again, I don't know about you, but when I first started doing the business, they used to keep going on about this office space and their new campus and blah, blah, blah. And I used to think, I don't care. But actually, all of these developments, what this means is way more important than having a new office or having a new managing director. What this means is that they're investing in us in Europe. And that is that's the kind of take-home message, is that they're investing in us as a market and in us as wellness advocates and as consultants. So this is why they've brought in a new managing director for that dark blue zone of Europe, so that Lisa can focus on the light blue part of Europe and really, really bring things forward. So they've realised the weight of the work of the job to be handling the European market.
So hopefully that means we get more of Lisa.
Exactly. Yes, which would be fantastic.
But Europe's still going to remain unified. They're going to be doing things together, and Lisa's in charge still of all the marketing for Europe and many of the other aspects of Europe. So it's very exciting. And we know, if you don't know how Lisa Burke has just joined us, something, she's the managing director for Europe. She is amazing, and she's really helped grow doTERRA over the last 2 years since she's been with us.
Yeah, really lovely, full of heart, which is lovely. So this takes into actually probably my favourite part of the graphs. So what they were talking about was the foundation of market growth are these three things. So enrollments and new customers, retention of our existing customers, and then wallet share, which is using the LRP program. So how much people are actually, consistently on LRP.
Spending on LRP.
Yeah, spending, that's it, yeah. So there's the graph will show us that where we stand. So in terms of enrollments, this is Europe. So we are pretty high in terms of new enrollments. And so the net new active customers is the enrollments less those who have become inactive. And so this is absolutely brilliant to see that we are so high within all of those graphs. And I think that second one is the US, I believe, that orange one.
Yeah, it's not very clear, but it is the US.
It's the US, isn't it? And then we've had that for the last 3 months, so it's pretty good going. The second thing is retention, or what they call the churn rate. And so that's...
Don't turn off here, just because we're using some terms here called churn rate. This is very important. It's exciting. Yeah. So Lindsay's just going to explain to you what churn rate means.
And then there's another graph that's really, really good one to show. It goes like that. So I'll show you what that means. So churn rate is basically the percentage of your customers that go inactive. So what we want is to have a really low churn rate. If you have a 0% churn rate, that means everyone who is an active customer stays active all the time. So that's what we're aiming for. Europe is at 2.5%, which is pretty good. So I think the Europe bar, again, is that a light green one?
Yeah, it's the light green one.
The light green one here.
I think I got
so we're doing well. There we go, yeah. So we're doing well. We can do better, but we're doing well. So I think pat on the back for that one. But the main key is to know what impact that has on our market. So I think it's the next one. Sorry, the loyalty rewards program, which is a massive part of keeping that churn rate low, is really high. So that number there is 66%. So the percentage of all sales that are on LRP is 66% in Europe.
Which is just below the average, isn't it, of 68-70% for the whole of the
Yes, that's true. Yeah, just below. So we're doing well. And this is the most important part to increase our retention rate is LRP. It's the best, by far the best way of retaining our new customers is for them to go onto LRP. This is the graph that I think highlighted this all for me, because till then I kind of thought it's lots and lots of bar graphs, and you can kind of make bar graphs look however you want to. This graph, however, really shows what we're talking about. So this graph here, so they didn't name which countries these were. They wouldn't name them. This one here has an enrollment rate of 4%. So what that means is...
The red one, you mean the red one?
Sorry, the red one. Did I say blue one?
No, you just said the one. I was just making it clear. Sorry, Lynn. So just make it
clear.
The
red one. Yeah. The red one has an enrollment rate of 4% and a churn rate of 1.8%. So you can see there's a very gradual increase that is rising, but it's gradual. Then you can have on the blue one, you've got an enrollment rate of 7.5% and a churn rate of 3%, also increasing and a little bit faster. So you can see that although it's a higher churn rate, the enrollment rate is higher, and that means the graph is increasing more. What this shows us is that actually, although retention is really important and will really help, actually the overriding aspect that will increase our market or our business is actually new enrollments. And so that's what this figure is showing. Now, ideally, we have... Oh, there was one other graph with Europe on it. There we go. The one just before May. Sorry. Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry, this is highlighting what we we're just talking about. Yeah. So enrollment is the key, as retention is so good. So that's what we've just been highlighting. So what this is saying, because we're so good at retaining our customers, new enrollments is really, really the key to continuing to increase this market. So this is the part that I love, this graph here, where we stand in terms of these two countries. And you can see that our enrollment rate is well above whoever these two countries are. And our churn rate is a little bit lower than the blue one, but our market, you see how our market, the green line, is increasing massively. And so you can see again that actually enrollment is the overriding marker for how much that market is growing. So if we can combine the two of increasing our retention, so by lowering the churn rate and keeping on our super high enrollment rate, then this line just goes, exponentially. And that for all of us, that is a really, really good sign. But also, you can see that there is no sign of flatlining. So there is no indication of any of that growth stopping. I'm trying to look for the word, the saturation level. So when the saturation level, which actually, I don't know whether, am I talking about that as well, Nathan, or not? The penetration rate.
Not yet, no, you're not.
Not yet, okay. Okay, so I won't mention that because that's a really
exciting. That's a good one. That's that one later.
Pardon?
That's a good one.
Really good one.
Emily.
So they have never seen growth like this in any market. I know Emily's laughing at me. Because these numbers mean something, and that is really, really, yeah, this is the good place to be in terms of the growth of the market. So as it says, if it continues the way it is, will be the fastest growing market in doTERRA history. So and
that is doing something.
Yeah.
Because everywhere in doTERRA is rapid. We become the fastest growing market in doTERRA. Wow.
So just before I talk about this one here, again, what does this mean? You know, their mission of impacting, and it said it on the end of the video, one drop, one person, one community at a time. How many people and communities are we all impacting, and really quickly? So this is what these figures mean. This is people that we're impacting and able to help. So bringing it back to more of the caring side of it, this means that we're really caring for so many people within our market. So that's really exciting. They are expanding into other new markets as well. Did you want to mention this, Nath?
I was going to get Mum to take over now.
Perfect.
Thanks, Linz.
You're welcome.
Hi, okay, so this is my little bit then, Nath, yeah? Brilliant. Yes, look at this. We've got South Africa, if I can read it here, yeah, the Philippines, Israel, Ecuador, Colombia. I know Colombia is 1st of November. I don't know if you know any other dates there, do you, Nath? Because I know there's a lot of people waiting for some of these. South Africa isn't yet, is it?
There are no dates.
No. Somebody told me the 1st of November.
Well, we've been told dates for all of them, but I would not listen to any dates.
Okay. Okay. And then Panama.
But they're all saying next year these ones will definitely be open for business.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so
also somebody did make a comment, didn't they, that if you can go there and start building the business beforehand, you know, somehow make that happen, then you're ready for when it opens.
Can I just butt in a little bit there? Sorry. Do you know when you guys are going yet, Nate?
Well, not out loud on the whole team call.
We all want to send our people to your classes.
We were going. I was going yesterday, but because South Africa's not being opened until they told me Q2 of next year, which probably means Q3. So maybe June, August next year, I'll go next year. But then you can all send people to my classes.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, so trying to remember what this one was.
This was the annual promotions where that we're going to get a group of people.
Oh, yes. Yes, they've been doing that on the Diamond Mastermind group, haven't they? From America, what they do is they prepare these adverts and social media posts to go out well before it's even announced on the 1st of the month. They get together and they create all these like a file of different posts, so that on the 1st, when the promotion goes out, you are ready with these, and they have to kind of promise that they won't share it beforehand.
There'll be 4 or 5 people that are given this opportunity. You know, the leaders that will be there and creating these posts that will know of the promotions, that are not allowed to share them with their teams. They're not allowed to. They have to sign a non-disclosure agreement, but they're going to be creating this stuff like they have in the States, so that when it goes live on the 1st, we will have this stuff ready to give to all of the teams in Europe, which is very exciting.
It's really exciting.
And they will be translated as well.
This is what Ange Peters has been doing for anybody who follows her. and some other leaders obviously in the States, and yeah, it's going to make life so much easier because it's all done, ready to post out for BOGOs and offers and promos. It's awesome,
and very professionally done as well. So we're having a better promotion, better posting. So yeah, flexibility of unique promotions in the EU, and yeah, it's very exciting. Anything else on that one?
Well, yes, I do. Sorry. Don't invite me on your calls anymore.
It isn't your turn yet, Emily.
Okay. I have something on this, though.
No, go for it. You're fine.
Well, what I quite liked is a couple of years ago when we went to Bulgaria, Murray was saying, you know, some of us took away a hydrosol, which is like the water distilled from the distiller that creates the essential oil, and it was in a little spray bottle.
The Flora water.
Flora water, exactly. And we took away, you know, the essential oil from that distill as well, and how much, you know, you treasure things like that. And he said that they're going to start, you know, not letting us necessarily get the same offers that they get in the US, but maybe giving us our own special offers here in Europe. And maybe because a lot of our oils are actually sourced in Europe, so why should we not have those and have our own specials? So that's kind of exciting. We're always sort of like following behind them, aren't we?
Maybe we'll be the first to get Roman chamomile.
Yeah.
So then we were basically, it was about why the BOGOs are after the 15th of the month, and he explained it. Does the next slide? I think the next slide explains it, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. But the BOGOs, just so people know what BOGOs are, because some people on the team call might just through BOGO promotion. BOGOs means buy one get one free. And so he explained that, you know, loads of people ask, why do we do it on the 15th of the month? Well, after the 15th. Well, the number one reason is so that all the LRPs have gone through. But they also give it about a week before the end of the month. The reason they do that is so that the month of the BOGO month, it gives you 7 days to then go for rank. So because you get extra BOGOs coming through, you might find that you become much closer to the next rank. So you then have another 7 days to go, let's go for that rank. I didn't think I was going to get anywhere near it, but now I can, and let's go for it. So that's why they do the BOGOs. It's very strategic and very clever. So make use of the BOGOs when they come. And you don't know when the BOGOs are coming until the 1st of the month. Well, actually, not even then. Might only know a week before. Skip that one. I'll skip that one. We don't need to do that. Skip that one too. Skip that one. Did you want to talk about that one, Mum?
Yeah. I don't know because obviously I haven't looked at this. Are there other slides after this, or do you just want me to go on this slide?
Just talk about it and I'll go through.
Yeah. So why is the Power of Three critical to your organisation? And this was interesting. There is also always some kind of controversy over this as to whether you build to the Power of Three first or you build to rank. And they were saying that it is quite important to build to the Power of Three because it establishes the right behaviour right from the very beginning. You also get the proper structure right from the very beginning, and it bridges the gap of income until Unilevel kicks in, because I think with all their research, and obviously they see the whole picture of the whole world, they're seeing that people are getting discouraged by not earning any money. And at least with the Power of Three, you are earning some money right from the beginning. And so they're saying that Power of Three only matters if LRP is being taught. Teach the lifelong vitality and the benefits in 5 minutes. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll read that last sentence and then you can comment on that, Nathan.
Don't worry about reading it. I'll explain that quickly.
Yeah, go for it, because you've got very strong opinions on that, haven't you?
Yeah, well, yeah. So Europe is doing okay with the Power of Three. What they told us was that 4.8% of commissions, all commissions, goes towards the Power of Three in Europe. Now, ideally, the figure would be between 6 to 7% of commissions. That shows that we're getting a healthy structure, okay, like in the US. So when it comes to building to the power of 3, the only thing that I would be very wary of is that you are building to the power of 3 with builders. If you build to the power of 3 with customers, you can't rely on the customers doing their LRP. You can't commit them to do an LRP. So if you put a customer there, they might do it for 2 or 3 months, but then they stop doing it, then that whole structure of your power of 3 crumbles and you've got to start again. Okay, so build to the power of 3 with builders. So I would say you build to rank, but try to get power 3 as fast as you can so that you can earn that extra commission. Okay. But what David Sterling is saying, that power 3 is critical to your organization. So try and get it as soon as you can, but build properly, not just, you know, don't try and put customers there 1 month so you can get the power 3. Well, do you want to talk about Diamond Club, Mum?
Yes, so our Diamond Club is very exciting, actually. Diamond Club 2018. These are the figures. LRP. What's you? I don't know. I don't remember this bit.
Okay, that's right. So LRP PV, the whole LRP PV for the Diamond Club, the people doing Diamond Club, was 2,346,000. The enrollment PV was 4,589,000. So that's what the total PV was. Total enrollments was 25,000. The key figure here is that organizational growth grew by 76% on average for all Diamond Club participants. Now, for those of you that don't know what Diamond Club is kind of doTERRA's program for growing your business. Okay, Mum's done it. How many times have you done it now? 3 times?
Twice. I've done it twice.
Several of the team have done it, and it's actually phenomenal growth. It can help you phenomenally grow very, very quickly. So if you want to know what Diamond Club is, it's coming. Oh, where's the slide? I think the slide's towards the end. But you qualify for Diamond Club, you need to be a Premier by November, and you need to get 3 upline sponsors to support you. Okay. If you want to know more about Diamond Club, we'll do that another time, but very exciting program. Okay, Ems, do you want to do this bit?
Well, I don't know. I'll try. I love that you just throw this on us.
I know.
I was concentrating, but
I'd have looked it up a bit more.
Okay.
No time. We all arrived yesterday. No time to organise this.
I arrived 2 hours ago in England.
You did very well, Becky.
Not really.
I thought you did.
Okay, so we know doTERRA is more than just a job, more than something that we do from 9 to 5. It actually becomes who we are. And I think whoever did this presentation asked us the question, you know, do you do this as a 9 to 5 job? Well, many of the diamonds in that room who have become successful probably do it more than that. You know, especially if they've moved quickly, and it just reinforces that it's more than just a job. So yeah, why would a call centre be excited to be on the phone every day? And it's because we all know that there's a greater mission and a greater purpose here, because we truly love what we do. And I think an important thing to think about, and it's something that I often think about, is the fact that I would probably still do this work even if I wasn't paid for it, because I love it. And if you feel like that, then you're probably on the right path. It's nice to be paid, obviously.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so what we're doing is we are changing the world, one drop, one person, one community at a time. I must admit, when I first joined doTERRA, I thought, seriously, we're changing the world? It all sounded a little bit cheesy to me, if I'm honest. But actually now I've been involved with the company for about 3 years. And now that we can see the vision and see what has happened and the view ahead, this is genuinely happening. And it is so, so exciting. And we are making the world a better place. And we're doing that together. This is not just about one person doing it, it's about doing it together. So the foundations of a strong market are. Can you hear me properly? Because Ziggy's got Peppa Pig in the background.
We can hear you.
How we roll. The foundations of a strong market are a combination of sales growth, strong customer base, and the growth of the leaders. Last year's growth rate for Europe was an incredible 117%. I mean, that is just awesome. And yeah, if you look at these figures and the predicted figures that are ahead, that's even more exciting. Okay, so the year-to-date sales in Europe are 128%, so even higher. It's bonkers. And what I love about this chart, this graph, because I love graphs, did I say that? What I really love about this one is look at the top.
This is a table, Ems.
Table, so that's why I love it then. It's Romania right at the top, and you know, I hear excuses sometimes from people in areas or in countries where they are not as well off. Romania is up there with the highest sales rate, and that is a poor country. So that is an excuse, okay? It's about our mindset and the way that we look at things. And actually, it's a fantastic opportunity then if it's in an area or a country where they don't earn very much. It's even better just to switch in our mindset.
It's cool. It shows you the different countries here. So the United Kingdom is 113% year-to-date sales. What's really cool about this is that we've not even had October, November or December, the very best months of the year. So it's really exciting. So it shows you all the other European countries. Germany's starting to explode now, which is great. It's about time it did.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. This is a pie chart.
I can explain that if you want, Em. I love it. I like this. So what it shows is, don't worry if you don't want to do it. I'm in it. I'm in. Tag. So what this shows is the 2016 sales ratio for the whole of doTERRA sales. So it's showing that the United States is 75% of all sales, 23% was the other international markets, and Europe had 2%. Okay. 16. Now Europe has 6.5%. The rest of the United States is 60%, and the rest of the international markets is 33.5%. This just shows that we're growing, you know, very big in terms of our growth rate's big in terms of doTERRA growing as well. It also showed that US revenue, we'll just quickly go through this. US revenue versus international revenue, that actually in June, international revenue was matched by 50% as to US revenue. So we did 50-50. And actually, Lisa went even further, and actually we beat the US revenue in terms of international revenue. International revenue was 50.3% for the very first time in doTERRA's history. It just shows the market outside of the US is growing massively. Did not put a title for that. I've forgotten what that is. Let's get that one. That was a good slide there. This is year-to-date enrollments. So it's showing that Europe is up 103%, and it's showing where all the country, a lot of the countries are in Europe. It's showing that the UK there is at 78% year-to-date enrollments. We can do better than that, guys. That's terrible. That's a terrible. I've never seen anything below 100, so we've got to get that up. No, it's a good statistic actually still, but devastating for us. Now this is very interesting. So market penetration. Did anyone else want to do this on the call? Because this is the best part. I'm happy to do it, but if someone else wants to do it.
This is definitely the best part.
You want to do it, Liz?
No, you can do it.
Okay. So market penetration. So I think you can see Europe better there. What this shows is that the market penetration of Australia is at 1.43% or 49. Oh, I mean, 1.49%, which actually quite a big market penetration rate. Europe is at 0.03%, which is not very big, okay? I'll explain what it means because you're all thinking, what the heck does that mean? Now, what that means is that out of every 10,000 people in Europe, only 3 people have an account. So out of 10,000 people, 3 people have an account, 0.03%, okay? Australia has a 1.49%, which means 149 to every 10,000 people have an account. Does that make sense? Which means if we have the same penetration rate as Australia, Europe would be 50 times bigger right now, which means we would be a $7.5 billion market. So if you can imagine, in a couple of years' time, if we get the same penetration rate just as Australia, and Australia is going to grow, of 1.49%, the market's $7.5 billion. And so that's not even the ceiling. Ceiling is much higher than that, and that's only having 149 people with accounts to every 10,000. That is nothing like saturation. So when people say to you, is it saturated? You say, no way. It is nowhere near saturated. These figures absolutely categorically prove it, okay? Australia has a big saturation rate of 149 to every 10,000. But there's still another 9,851 people that don't have accounts for all of those. And Europe, we have 3 to every 10,000. So the UK has 6 to every 10,000. So it's 0.06. There's a slide a bit later on that shows that. This is just showing the global leader growth throughout Europe. Premiers and above, obviously you can see that Premier and above rate is just growing massively. Leadership growth is growing, so the different ranks, which all of you are part of. And this is the market penetration rate for each market in Europe. So you've got Slovenia with the very highest of 0.17%, which is not very big. Switzerland is 0.16%. The UK is 0.06%. Germany is 0.02%. You know, these markets, we're not doing anything with them yet. Nothing like what is going to happen. So I want you to really get a clear vision that doTERRA in Europe is tiny. Just because your friend down the road has heard of it and your sister and your boyfriend's brother have heard of doTERRA, that does not mean this business is saturated at all. And these figures absolutely 100% prove it. Okay, so don't believe in that. What do we call that?
I remember Emily Wright a couple of years ago at convention. I think it was Emily. She was speaking about saturation, and she said, is there anybody else on your street doing doTERRA? Well, if the people on either side of where you live are doing doTERRA, you might be able to say it's saturated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense. Somebody wants to do compliance. This is quite cool, just to help people out.
I can do this.
Go on, Ems. So
here are some compliance and claims guidelines that Kirk took us through. There's different points that he touches on. So it's about the way that we teach about the oils and the terminology that we're using in compliant language. By the way, you can look this up on the main website. Just Google doTERRA compliant language or terminology, and you'll be able to bring up, you know, the correct words that we can legally use for every oil and every product, okay? The main gist of it is that we can't be saying the words treat, cure, or heal, and we're replacing those words with words like support, aid, alleviate, things like that. So if you want to know more about that, just look it up and jot down some key words that you know that you can be using without issues. As we grow, we do need to be a bit more aware of the compliant language that we're using. Not in classes, guys, that's okay, but just more so online, okay? So if you're doing this online.
Particularly online. If you use the word disease and cures and, you know, online, and not just those words, there's lots of other words, you've got to be very, very careful with what you put out online. It stays there.
Yeah. Specific illnesses and ailments, you have to be careful around that. You have to, instead of saying something like migraines or headache, you have to say head tension or inflammatory response in the body, as opposed to, you know, an actual issue that has a name. It's not hard though, not hard. And we want to be compliant. I teach our team that we need to be compliant, actually. Okay, so teaching effectively inside the guidelines, using lifestyle overviews when you're on one-to-ones with people to address specific areas of concern. So then, you know, if you're in a one-to-one situation, you can obviously delve a bit deeper and be using different language to address their specific needs for them. Help them as well to be doing their own research and having their own resources. So the way that I like to explain it is that we are actually the messenger of the oils, but people have to do their own research, and then we can provide them with the tools that they need once they've done this research themselves. We're certainly not the doctor, and we are not here to be prescribing for people. We are here to empower people to do that themselves. Okay, cross-recruiting. So obviously this is really important. You know, we have to be aware of this as doTERRA grows. And doTERRA has a very strict culture of no cross-recruiting. It creates such a bad vibe, guys. Just don't do it. You know, we encourage people to grow where they are planted. Okay? And we need to be committed to keeping the integrity of the company and encouraging people to grow where they are. And the thing is you can support people if they're not on your team. You can still work with people if they're not actually on your team. So Terra is an amazing family. And actually, sometimes when we come into this, it's a learning for us all. Sometimes we come into this and we have a bit of a scarcity mindset of, oh, mine. And that's understandable because sometimes we're really ambitious. But you need to think about this. It does not create a good vibe. And if you are abundant, what you give out will come back to you. I truly believe that. So I have people, I'm always opening my classes up to people from other teams, and I'm very happy to work with other leaders. So multiple sales messages are distracting and not permissible. So
sorry, Em, sorry.
No, I'm just trying to think.
It's talking about other MLMs.
Yeah,
so
that's it.
if you're doing doTERRA, yeah, go on.
Yeah, so basically, this is if you want to work with several different MLMs at the same time. And the thing is what we would encourage people to do is actually just to focus, and that more success will be found in just focusing on one business. And so it's not permissible to be really doing 2 MLMs at the same time. It's sending out mixed messages. So Amazon and eBay, there's been a lot on this recently. With people selling on Amazon and eBay, and in the most part this is not permitted, and doTERRA would encourage us to what's the word I'm looking for? Report. To report this if we're seeing it. There have been some cases. It's been very difficult for them to sort of police. So there have been some cases where they have authorised this in America. I don't yet know that this is allowed in the UK, but there have been some cases in America where this has been allowed in certain situations when it's been applied for and authorised, but only that people are selling above the price, okay, of what people can get.
It's above. They have to, if they are allowed to do it in the US, which only a few people have ever been authorised to do, they have to do it at above retail price.
10%, he said, didn't he? 10%.
Yeah, something like that.
So,
but you're not allowed to do it in Europe in any way. In any way. So if you sell on Amazon or eBay just the odd bottle here or there, it's not permitted. If you're selling kits to try and get people to recruit them, it's not permitted. It's not a tactic. You know, we applied to do Groupon once, wasn't permitted. Just not allowed to do that. It takes away, you know, some diamonds might have 3,000 worth of oils, and if they sell them at half price, then that's going to take them away from other people that could have bought them from other wellness advocates. So please, please, please don't do it. And if you see it, please report it in any way.
The important thing is that you are helping people to understand the value that they get through having an account, you know, the support that they get, the resources that they get, the continued and further learning that they get. So it's way more value than just the oils themselves. And not
also
only
the
that,
points, they don't get the free points and product, do they?
Yeah, absolutely. And also not only that, doTERRA will not insure what is in a bottle that is purchased on Amazon or eBay, because there's a lot of scams going on where people are just replacing the caps and filling them up with oils. We had somebody from our team, I think, was it Kathy? Kathy, are you here?
Hello, yes I am.
Hi babes, it was you that was telling me about the oils that were
Yes.
do you want to just share that?
Yes, I can share it. Hello. Actually, I was just talking to my friend about it today, and she's actually my best friend, no names mentioned. One of the first people I enrolled a long time ago, and I went to stay with her over the summer, and I grabbed her lemon to put in my water, and I undid the lid, and it literally had kind of syrupy strings, is probably the best way of describing it. It sounds disgusting, but it was. When I pulled the lid away from the bottle, it had like stickiness, and I thought, oh, that's weird. Maybe it's, you know, I did enroll her up nearly 3 years ago. I thought, oh, well, maybe it's gone off. But then I smelt it, and it smelt, I think the best way of describing it is kind of like sherbet dips or those sherbet lemons. It was really sweet, yuck smell. It just did not smell like lemon that we know. And so I just said, well, I think this has gone off. And I went to look on Source to You with the code on the bottom, and it didn't come up. And then I said to my friend, I was like, oh, I think your lemons, there's something wrong with your lemon. I'll take it and I'll send it back for you. And actually, she confessed to me about 3 weeks later that she had bought it on Amazon late one night because it came up as I don't know what it is, you know, like a cookie, I suppose, where her computer linked her to having an interest in doTERRA. And so she just put it in her basket from Amazon and didn't even think about it until I arrived. And anyway, cut a long story short, I just said to her today, I've bought her a new lemon, and I've giving her that one, but I want to get this old sticky one back to use as an example. So
yeah, thanks, Kathy.
It's gross. It's all right.
Yeah, and the thing is if people are ingesting it and it's not pure, that's dangerous. So just don't do it and report it.
And just on that though, if you find people are doing it, or you know someone that is doing it, or you know, I'm sure you might know anything like that. But if you see that happening, just remember also that it is also part of the doTERRA culture that we don't name and shame them. We're not trying to get them into trouble. We're trying to help them, because a lot of the times they may not even know they're not allowed to do that. Okay, so it's trying to just help everybody to understand doTERRA culture. doTERRA culture is also that, you know, someone does it and they stop, brilliant, they're completely forgiven. That makes sense?
And don't go around trying to police people that are selling the wrong way.
No,
focus on you selling the right way.
It's totally not up to us to do that. Just tell doTERRA.
I think one of the things that I think Rochelle pointed out is actually you can, I think you do this as well, Emily, is adding so much value to getting them through doTERRA, through the personal care, through the wellness consultation, through continued education, all of that program that wouldn't exist by getting them through another means. And so almost nipping that in the bud. So even if it's already occurred to someone, you're nipping that in the bud in the fact that actually, one, they could be adulterated, and two, you're on your own. Whereas actually, if you do it the way it's meant to be done, then there's a whole other support network around it as well. So I thought that was quite a good suggestion too.
Yeah, it is. But I just want to be very clear that if people do this, we forgive them. They just don't do it again. All right, once they know. Finish that off.
Do you want me to finish this off? Okay, so our role, how can we protect the culture in the best way that we can? So 1, 2, 3, live it, teach it, and report it. Living it means actually being authentic and living the oils and sharing them in that very way. And people will pick up on that, and they will develop trust in you, in your example that you're setting for people, and not just your words. So if you are being compliant and protecting the culture, then your team should follow that from you. Teach it. When your leaders are starting out, talk to them about why doTERRA is different. And as Nathan said, they might not even realise that they're doing things that are perhaps not in keeping with the culture. So just try and help your teams to understand why doTERRA is amazing, because we do have this culture. It's a blessing that we do have this culture that we want to protect. It's one of the reasons why we've been so successful, and we have such a good name as a company. We are different. And then, anything questionable, report it to compliance@doterra.com, and don't spend your time policing. There's time better spent elsewhere on your business.
And it goes for the same with cross recruiting. Sometimes it can be really hard if someone's taken a leader from you. And we don't always know the reasons why it's happened, but we encourage people to try and live the culture. But what we've got to remember is people come from all different backgrounds, and it's almost best business practice in all other companies to do the things which, like eBay, Amazon, like cross recruiting. It's encouraged in most business practices. Okay? So we've got to help other people when they come in and they don't fully understand doTERRA culture, and we help them understand it. Okay.
Compliance@doterra.com, Sarah.
Yeah, there it is. Compliance@doterra.com. Skip that one. Linz, did you just want to talk about that one?
Yeah, sure. This is a lovely Venn diagram, actually. So this one, I think this goes more towards the touchy-feely side of grass. So I love that actually doTERRA ticks all of these boxes and puts us right there in that red area. So you know that you're in the right area, doing the right thing when you love it. The world needs it. You're paid for it, and you're great at it. Now, some of those aspects might be work in progress. So you might not be great at it yet, but you can get there. One of the key things is that you love it. We love our oils, and it happens very quickly that you fall in love with these oils. And then very quickly you see people who need it around you. I've just had some messages on my mum and baby WhatsApp group where there's babies and mums with sickness and diarrhea left, right and centre. They need some Zengest. So I've offered my voodoo oils to them. But you can see that it very quickly happens. And so doTERRA, we can see it so easily, matches all of these. It pays us very well for what we do. And it allows us to develop skills. I love the expression that doTERRA is a personal development business wrapped up in essential oils, because no matter how good we are at certain things, doTERRA enables us to get better at many other things as well, and to improve ourselves from the inside as much as from the outside. So I love that this does all of it. This is a nice little quote for any of the guys on the call from Pele. So success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you're doing or learning to do. And I think that's exactly what we do. I love quotes. This is a great way to continue. I think we're almost near the end. Is that right, Nathan?
Yeah, we've got like 5 minutes left.
Okay, cool, perfect.
Might be quicker than that.
Okay.
Mum, do you want to do this one, Mum?
Sure. The doTERRA 7 Deadly Fears. So basically, afraid to start and learn. Lots of people don't even get going, do they? They have the desire, but they don't actually get on with it. Big procrastinate. Afraid to buy, afraid to share, afraid to build, afraid to fail, afraid to totally commit, and afraid to care.
Do you want to add anything to that?
No.
Okay, brilliant.
You said you've only got 5 minutes.
It does explain it very well. So this is where Europe's heading. The market penetration is so low that we've got an amazing opportunity, guys. And there are founders clubs all over Europe. So if you're in the UK, or if you're in Germany, or if you're in France, you know, there are founders clubs there. So now is a great time to get an extra bonus in founders club. But even if you don't get founders or whatever it is, building a business with doTERRA is amazing. And the market penetration here, I'm so excited about that. Europe is on the same path as the US. So US went like this. Europe, as you can see from the diagrams, I think the US is blue and Europe is red. Is on exactly the same trajectory. And at this current moment in time, they're predicting that the growth rate is actually going to exceed that of the US, because it's actually a bigger market by a lot. I think it's 2.5 times the size of the US, not including Russia, that's just the EU. So those statistics you saw of the whole size of the market does not include Russia or anything outside the EU. It only includes EU countries. Okay, so it's massive. Nelson Mandela said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." I remember when I joined, it felt impossible to get to Presidential Diamond. Somehow we did it, and you guys can too. The great thing about doTERRA is it's multi-generational. And Dr. Hill said this: "If the ideas, culture and philosophy do not outlive all of us, we have failed as a company." doTERRA's, one of their missions is that we want to be making sure that our children and our children's children are taught about essential oils. And I like this quote as well, that service is the rent we pay for the privilege of living on the earth. So doTERRA is all about service. We've got the Healing Hands and the projects that doTERRA partners with, and co-impact sourcing that doTERRA does is all about serving those, and actually that benefits us from a business perspective as well. Actually, there is like 10 more minutes, flipping it. There's loads of good stuff coming. I'm going to go really quickly through this stuff, guys. So no more talking from anyone. I'm sorry. So Project David and Goliath updates. Okay, Empowered Success. So all the Empowered Success guides, they are now ready and available in your back office in English, German, Portuguese, and Slovak. They will be unloading all the other languages, rolling them out very soon in the 18 supported languages. Okay, Empowered Success. Some of you might have heard of it, know bits about it. We're going to be teaching more and more about that, so you're going to get to know more. It's the new way that the whole of doTERRA is system for growing your business. The product guides. So the English completed translations are in progress, and all of these are almost done. So all those languages. Take a quick snapshot if you want to know it. All the updates can be found on doterraeveryday.eu, so they'll put the project updates for each language up there so that you can know when it's coming out. It's updated at the end of every week. So if you want to know, rather than putting it on the Facebook group or asking any of us, and that's where we'll be looking it up, so just look it up on there, okay? And they'll let you know when it's coming. Sometimes the deadlines change slightly and they go back, but the latest deadline will be there for you. So the new Essential Oils book, which comes with every kit, is available now, and you can buy it online in English, Dutch, German, Italian, Norwegian, Portuguese, Romanian, and Slovak. And the other languages will be coming out. Again, you can look at those project updates on doterraeveryday.eu. Eco packaging. Woo! New trial was really good. We loved it. All of the wellness advocates that had it on trial loved it. However, it took the warehouse twice as long. That's not good, which means that it could fail. So they're not going to be doing that eco packaging just yet. But Lisa did commit to finding a solution, and that we will have eco packaging as soon as possible. So they're just going to find different material to make it just as quick for the packers, because we need fast delivery as well as eco packaging. VAT inclusive pricing. This is almost ready, goes live the end of this month. The carts will now display VAT prices in it. VAT exempt customers will be exempt if you're in the Jersey Islands or wherever it is. And also, I don't think this is coming at the end of the month, but reduced rates on some products for VAT will be available. I think that is coming in January though, and the new price is coming. There are now European.com website rollouts. So instead of doTERRA.com. You can go to doTERRA.co.uk and it has all the European stuff and the UK stuff on it. That was launched on the 6th of August. That's available right now. And all the other .coms will be rolling out very, very soon. What .com is .eu or .fr, .de, those ones in their language. We're also getting the new rank tracker. So in the US, they've got a rank tracker, so you can put in where you want to be at gold, and it will tell you what you've got to do to achieve that. So that is actually ready to go live in Dutch, French, German, Hungarian, all those languages very, very soon. I think she said by the end of November. So look out for that. That's going to be great.
It's in our back office now, Nathan, in the UK.
No, it's not, is it?
I did it today. Yeah, I had to go with it today.
It's just brilliant. That shows you I've done no work on my back office today. Brilliant.
I'm miles away.
You're miles away. Right, so it calculates the shortages, so everyone can have a play at that. That is cool. Okay. Diamond Club. Okay, it starts in November. It doesn't start in November. You have to qualify in November. And I think you have to be Premier or higher, qualify for Diamond Club. It is January to April. That's the months for qualification. If you want to know more about Diamond Club, speak to your upline. Okay. There is also the Vimeo channel. Very exciting. That they've actually come up. If we were here on the beginning of the call, they've actually started doing videos, which are now in pounds and in euros, and we've got UK English voices on it, or there'll be German voices on it, or they'll be in your languages. They've got an in-house videographer who's going to be putting the subtitles over all the videos. That's a massive project. They're extremely excited. There is a commission plan one that's out there. It hasn't been made available yet, but we watched it at convention. Great. And the LRP one is out there. We watched that just before the theme call today. And in this quote, I didn't want to work for 40 years just to retire unhappy and unable to enjoy life along the way. Make sure that you enjoy the life along the way, guys. So if you want to go, that's the end of the team call. If you want to ask some questions, then ask away. Announcements, I forgot announcements at the beginning, but unfortunately, the Wellness Day is completely booked. 440 tickets have now gone for the Wellness Day in Milton Keynes. There are still tickets available for the Builders Day in Milton Keynes on the 31st or 30th of November. However, 200 have sold. There's only 100 left. They will go. So please, team, make sure you go get them if you want to go. Please go get them. All right. The Wellness Day, unfortunately, is completely sold out. Any questions, guys? I'll end the recording and then we can go to questions.